I found $1 million of unclaimed revenue hiding inside of this man's coaching business. And the crazy part was he was already doing $250,000 a month, which sounds great. But when I looked at his numbers, it made me cringe because he was losing out on multiple six figures a month. And here's the part that matters to you. If you're a coach that's doing $10,000 to $30,000 a month, you're probably making the same 3 mistakes that he was making. So in this video, I'm going to share those mistakes with you in the 3 things that I gave him that turned his business around. So here was the situation. This coach hit me up for help scaling his revenue. And on the surface, this man was winning. Like he's doing $250,000 every single month purely from cold emails. Like that's crazy. But when I audited his sales process, what I saw made me cringe. I literally wanted to pull my hair out because his sales team was only closing at 5%. When the industry average is 20%. So that means out of every 100 qualified leads that could have been closed, they lost 95 of those deals. And I told him, like, you shouldn't be excited about doing $250K a month when you're capable of doing $250K a week now. And he smiled at me and he said, Will, that's exactly why I brought you on, brother. What do I need to do? So I said, there are 3 adjustments that you need to implement right now. And when you do these, it's going to change everything. So the first issue I found was that all of his leads were showing up completely cold. They saw an email, they booked a call, and then they had to wait for days to speak to the sales reps. And in between that time, they didn't receive anything from the company or the sales reps. That lead was just sitting in la la land. And when they finally got on the Zoom call, these guys were getting hammered by the same objection over and over. And the prospect would say, this sounds really good, but I need to think about it. I need to go and do some research because I just heard of you. So to fix that problem, I installed a pre-call indoctrination workflow. So between the time that lead booked the call and the time they actually spoke to the sales rep, we sent them assets that did the following. Number 1, they got a video that educated them on the process that they use to deliver the results. We sent them deep dive case studies to show that that process actually worked for hundreds of people. And we sent them belief shifting content that destroyed their objections before they came to the call. So they would know that the process worked. It works for others and it could work for them. And this completely changed the entire dynamic of their sales calls. So instead of the rep spending 20 minutes trying to prove the process is legit, the prospect showed up already sold on the process. And that call was just spent diving deep into their goals, their problems, and determining whether or not it was a good fit to work together. See, it brought in more quality people who were already educated. And if you're watching this video and thinking, well, my leads keep telling me they need to think about it, this might be one of the reasons why you're hearing that. They don't trust you yet. That's not a sales problem. That's a marketing problem. So that fix alone could double your close rate. But the second mistake is even worse because this is the thing that separates a coach who's doing $30,000 a month from the one that's doing $300,000 a month. So the second adjustment was internal. Even though the business was doing pretty good numbers, like $250,000 a month is not bad. He had 0 sales structure. There were no sales meetings, no call reviews, no standards for the reps. They were just showing up to the calls and pitching everybody that showed up. They would get on there, ask a couple questions, and then go into this whole monologue about the product. There was no discovery, no problem identification, like no gap finding. And his offer was so good that it was still converting even though the sales process was flawed. So I knew if we tightened that up, it would take his revenue to the moon. So we implemented a daily sales training process. Every morning we had sales team huddles. And on those huddles, we did call reviews from the previous day. We role played specific objections. We got super clear on the prospect and how to find their actual problems. And by implementing a structure where they had to identify their pain, their problem before pitching the solution, they were able to 2x their close rate in the first 30 days. And here's the truth. If your sales team is not getting trained every single day, then they're going to result back to their lowest level of training, which is to bring in habits, choices, and decisions that cost you money. So stop doing that. All right. So you're pre-indoctrinating your leads and you're training your sales team daily. So you should already be seeing a massive jump in your conversions. But there's one more leak that's costing you thousands every single week. And this is one of the easiest ones to fix. It's creating a backup offer. A backup offer is the easiest way to pick up cash that you're currently leaving on the table. Before I stepped in, if a prospect said no to their offer, that was it. They were done. They were marked as closed lost and they moved on to the next person. But just because someone says no to a 5K or a 10K offer today doesn't necessarily mean they don't want help. So we built a backup offer. And this is a down sell that's presented to the prospect within 24 hours of them saying no on the original call. It's a simple no-brainer offer that usually consists of a self-study course or some low-ticket item that doesn't compete with a core offer that's a fraction of the price. And it does two different things. Number one, it generates immediate cash flow from leads that you already paid to acquire. It turns a cold lead into a buyer. And someone who pays for something is far more likely to upgrade to your high-ticket offer than somebody that stays on your email list for free. So if you don't have a backup offer, you're literally walking away from 15 to 20% more revenue every single month. So those were the 3 shifts that I used to help him find that $1 million he was missing every single month. We turned his cold leads into warm leads with the pre-call indoctrination workflow. We started daily sales huddles to train the team on the prospect and how to identify their real problems. And then we also introduced the backup offers. And here's what this means for you. Most coaches think that they need more traffic in order to scale. But if you're already getting leads and booking sales calls, the fastest way to scale isn't more traffic. It's to convert more of what's already in your pipeline. So when you implement these 3 systems that I just shared with you, everything is going to change. Your leads are going to show up trusting who you are and that you can help them instead of being skeptical. Your team is going to close more deals because they're not just randomly pitching everybody. They're actually diagnosing your prospects. And the people that don't buy today become buyers tomorrow because now you have a solid backup offer. And that's the difference between being stuck at the current level of income you're at now and breaking through to consistent 6-figure months. So here's what I want you to do next. I want you to audit your sales process against the 3 pillars that I just shared with you. Are your leads showing up warm or are they cold? Is your team being trained every single day or are they winging it? Do you have a backup offer or are you letting people just walk away? If you're missing any of these 3 things, you're leaving a lot of money on the table. And I just gave you the 3 things that you need to focus on to reclaim it. So now go and execute. And if you want my help implementing these exact systems, and you're a coach doing 10 to 30,000 a month and you want to scale to 100,000 plus a month consistently, click the link in the description and apply if you feel called to. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.